Now call to order the May 16th, 2022 meeting of the New Caney Independent School District Board of Trustees at 6:01 p.m. Let the minutes show a quorum is present with all members in attendance and Ms. Prickrell absent. Please rise for the invocation be given by Ms. Harrell and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and honor the Texas flag by Mr. Turner.
Please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us to this place this evening. We're so grateful for the community in which we live and we serve. We thank you for our students and our staff as we end out this year on a good note. We ask that all things we do honor and glorify you, and that you would be with our first responders as they protect us at home and our armed forces as they protect us abroad. Forgive us of our sins, and may all we do honor you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Item 2 on the agenda is the superintendent report presented by Mr. Calvert.
Sir, thank you. I want to recognize some folks tonight. Our team from Porter High School, Ms. Mesmer, and the Dowdies. Y'all got any news you'd like to share with us that you had delivered to you recently?
So I'm Susan Mesmer. Good evening. I'm the incoming Dean of Instruction at Porter High School. Mr. Kondarka wanted to be here tonight, but to present our students to you, but we have our senior award ceremony tonight as well. So I get the honor of being here. And I'm truly excited because I'm a huge fan of these kids in this program. In education, we strive for students to develop higher order thinking skills, and the highest of these, like the pinnacle, is creative, to create. And our engineering students use the knowledge that they learn to create every day. You walk through their classrooms, they have airplanes, they have hydroponic systems, there are robots. And this is demonstrated fully by our Project Pathfinder team and their national victory at the Samsung Plan for Tomorrow competition in New York. Porter High School is the only school to be invited to compete at the national level twice. And these students went further to make us all proud by bringing home the victory 2 years in a row. These students took one of the worst moments of Porter High School's 21-22 school year, and they turned that into an experience that turned out to be one of the best, and it was celebratory for us, and has given us a reason to celebrate tonight. And because of this and so much more, I'm proud to present the national winners of Samsung Solve for Tomorrow competition. We have Johan Carranza, Caitlin Chavez, Lena Conde Arajo, River Dowdy, Michael Robbins, and their mentors and their sponsors, Mrs. Autumn Dowdy, and our Porter High School Teacher of the Year, Mr. George Dowdy. So they brought home $130,000 for their engineering program, and we are super proud of them. So did anything? All right.
We'll all be working for y'all one day. And if y'all haven't seen that, y'all need to go look it up on YouTube. It's pretty amazing what those kids came up with to get a fast rate of getting the kids out of the high school without being injured or just knowing where to go. It's pretty impressive. We'll all be working for them one day. Item 3 on the agenda. Oh, go ahead. Never mind. Sorry about that. He's got a few more.
Not done yet. All right. We've been recognizing our staff hires at Westport just because, again, all of our teachers and staff are important, but setting the tone and being the first at a high school is definitely right up there and something that not everybody gets to do. So I'd like to have Ms. Heine come up and recognize some of her hires that are here tonight, building her team and completing her team.
All right, good evening once again, New Caney ISD Board of Trustees. With this update tonight, that means we're so much closer to the inaugural opening of West Fork High School. It is with great anticipation of what is to come next now that staffing is nearing completion. That brings the next level of excitement, which is getting in the building and the energy of starting teaching and learning, and that's what we're here to do. In March and April, you guys know, we announced fine art programs directors and campus leaders, and tonight I would like to introduce another group of excellent men and women who will take on the charge of serving as head coaches for developing the first ever programs in their areas. As I've stated before, I admire them for taking up this challenge to open and establish these programs. It is their beliefs that I believe that will set them up for success. Most notable, the characteristics that each person represent here is that they believe our athletes are students first. They believe in building character to shape the young men and women of our community to be responsible adults. And most importantly, they understand that athletics teaches life lessons. Please welcome the following head coaches to West Fork High School, a proud part of New Caney ISD. Jack Sizemore, men's basketball. Ayana Weeks, women's track. Hayden Lane, men's soccer. Yolanda Johnston, women's soccer. Juan Ceballos, golf. Kyle Mead, tennis. Matthew Baca, baseball. Michael Ogle, cross country. Donovan Jackson, weightlifting. And Megan Dean is not here tonight, but she will be our head softball. Hope I didn't miss anybody. Okay, great. Thank you, New Caney ISD, for your continued support.
All right, again, that's always exciting to see those introductions. I'd like to recognize Ms. Brandy Chalette at this time, our Executive Director of Finance. They have an award that they have recently earned, and she's going to tell us more about it. Brandy?
Okay, and I have Amanda Garcia with me. She is my Director of Accounting. She is the woman behind the work that caused this award to happen. So basically, this is an award from the Texas Comptroller's Office. It's on transparency. I don't know if y'all have heard the transparency stars that they award. There's 5 different areas. There's the Traditional Finance Award, the Contracts and Procurement, Economic Development, Public Pensions, and Debt Obligations. Currently, we have our letter for the Traditional Finances Award, and we're waiting on the letter for the Debt Obligation Award. A lot of work went into this. Basically, there's a link on their website that when you click it for New Caney ISD, it goes back to our website. There's some visualizations on there. There's some summaries on there, some downloadable data and things that she pulled together. So basically, it's given to local governments that are open their books not only to traditional finances, but go above and beyond in the transparency efforts for their community. So she has already received 1. We're waiting on the letter for 2. Then we'll be going through with contracts and procurement and economic development. Public pensions won't apply to us because we don't have our own pension. So but that's it. So, thank you.
Okay, now, item 3 on the agenda is open forum. The board will now hear comments from those persons who have signed up to speak. We have 2, but I need to read the open forum statement first. The board encourages comments from citizens of the district or employees. Anyone wishing to speak, either as an individual or as a representative of a group, may do so at this time. The board asks that comments pertain to public education issues and be no longer than 5 minutes. Remember, the board may not discuss any issues that are not posted on our agenda. If an issue mentioned is listed on tonight's agenda, the board will defer discussion until the appropriate time during this meeting. In addition, the board has adopted complaint policies that are designed to secure at the lowest administrative level a prompt and equitable resolution of complaints and concerns. The policies are available on the district website at www.newcaneyisd.org. Up first, Casey Brown. And Miss Harold will keep your time.
Okay, sorry. Good evening. I'm here as a parent from Porter High School. My child is in the Porter Band. I'm sure you're aware that Dr. Nell has resigned. And I just have a couple of questions. I know you guys can't discuss that, and that's not what I'm here for. But I'm wondering when the band hall extension for Porter is going to be put on a bond, if that's something you can discuss with me.
It's not on the agenda, so we can't discuss
You
it.
can't, okay. This is my first time coming, so I'm not sure what you guys are able to discuss, or if there's somebody I can email to discuss some of these questions with. So what I might ask you, you might not be able to answer any of my questions. How do you guys come to a budget as far as what you give to New Caney Band and Porter? I know they receive the same budget, but how is that decided upon? Is that something you can discuss?
We'll have to
Okay.
email it to Mr. Calvert.
I can just email it to you, Mr. Calvert? Okay, I appreciate that. So you can't tell me whether or not it's being increased. I know that some of you were at the state marching contest in October and the previous years, and both schools are at a socioeconomic disadvantage when we're competing against the other schools at the state, such as Leander and Cedar Park. So that's part of the reason I'm here to ask the questions about the budget, because I'm on the board for the band and I'm also a booster. So we do everything we possibly can to make up the deficit for the money that we're choosing to spend for the marching show. But I just wanted to know how the budget was calculated, how you divvy it up between athletics and fine arts. I'll email you, I guess.
Yeah, if you send him an email, then we can better answer.
Perfect, okay. Okay, thank you so much for your time, I appreciate it.
Those are great questions.
Okay, thank you. No, I appreciate you guys, I appreciate the support. I appreciate Coach Holly allowing us to sell merchandise at the football games this year. That was really helpful. I know you guys do as much as you possibly can to support, all fine arts, but band is why I'm here, so thank you so much. And I hope you guys can find somebody as awesome as Dr. Now. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Up next is Christina Simpson.
Good evening, everyone. So as the lady was before me, this is also my first time coming to one of the meetings. What I have to discuss isn't on your agenda, so I know you're not going to be able to answer any of the questions for me, but I was just here to address the potential threat that happened at Porter High School today. My daughter is a sophomore there, and she, along with many of the other students, were very upset by the message that got airdropped to hundreds of the students at the high school. And I really just had concerns as far as how that situation was handled at the high school. It seems that, as with the kids before me that won the award for the incident that happened back at homecoming, these events don't seem to be handled very well. They seem to be glossed over a bit and not fully addressed, and full information given to the parents after these events happen. So I would like to just ask that there be more transparency in how you relate information to the parents when these events happen. Unfortunately, they do happen. So we need to deal with what's going on, in the world, and make sure that our kids understand that we know how to handle it and what to do from there, because there didn't seem to be a lot of that today. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item 4 on the agenda is closed meeting. The board will now meet in closed meeting under the authority of Texas Government Code 551.074. for the purpose of personnel matters, Government Code 551.071 for attorney consultation, and Government Code 551.072 for deliberation regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. Any action as a result of the closed session discussion will take place after the board reconvenes in open meeting. The time is 6:16 PM. The board, thank you. The board ended closed meeting at 8:17 PM and will now reconvene in open session. Mr. Calvert, do you have anything?
Yes, sir. I've got some introductions to make, some familiar faces, but going to be filling some new roles for us next year. Starting off with Ms. Keisha Cawley. She is going to be the new principal at Pine Valley Middle School. She is coming to us. She's currently an AP at New Caney High School. So again, it's always great to promote from within. And keeping that trend alive, Brookwood Forest is going to have a new principal, Miss Lusana Davis. She is currently their AP there and does a phenomenal job as well. And so where's Ms. Gutierrez going? She's going to be our new director of multilingual, and we're excited to see where she takes that program for us this year.
Okay, item 5 on the agenda is reports and proposals of board members. Mr. Mixon will present.
So on May 5th, we held our second Legislative Affairs Committee meeting, discussed a couple of items: learning loss and accelerated instruction, recruitment, retention, and fast enrollment growth. This meeting was somewhat special. I'll say that since I've been on the board, I've not been engaged with our legislators from the district's involvement, and so I'm really excited about this committee and the work. I thank Dr. Powers for a lot of the work that he's put into this. But Senator Crippen, I don't believe was actually supposed to attend, but we were just going to meet with some people from his office, and Brandon had actually kind of shifted some things around because he was excited to be able to come and meet with New Caney ISD and meet with our leadership. So I thought that was kind of a milestone. One of the items that we discussed, I believe we had two principals, which was Dan Carr and Kendi Tomhave, that were able to kind of put in some advice on House Bill 4545. We know that there's a lot of struggles there. Their office was very attentive. They're eager for us to be engaged, at the legislative level. And what I think, for our district is teachers, principals, you have a voice. And this is an area that we use it because what they do in Austin, directly affects us. So, I think it was a great meeting. I think it's just the tip of the iceberg as to the change in effects that we can actually have on legislative sessions that happen in Austin. So.
Good deal. Ms. Tompkins?
Okay, so on April the 25th, we had our Safe and Secure Committee meeting. And in this meeting, we looked at our multi-hazard emergency plan. We also looked at the safe and secure audits, and this was cycled from September 2020 through August of 2023. We are going to start back in-person audits and this is just a check to make sure that the procedures we have in place and to test our protocols. And then, as always, this committee consults with our local law enforcement and fire department.
Thank you. Item 6 on the agenda is consent calendar consisting of consideration of minutes, consideration of finance reports, consideration of purchasing reports, consideration of personnel reports, and consideration of operations reports. Any questions? Is there a motion to approve the items on the consent calendar? Motion been moved and seconded. There being no further discussion, a vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is approved. Item 7 on the agenda is consideration of procurement method for Phase 2 of West Fork High School. Wow, I haven't even opened it yet. We're already doing Phase 2. Mr. Calvert.
Yes, sir. As we saw last month, the kids keep on coming, and we got to be ready for them. And this is part of that, to get West Fork High School ready to be a fully functioning 5A high school. So we're asking the board to approve the construction manager at risk procurement method for those services moving into phase 2.
Are there any questions? Is there a motion to approve the procurement method for Phase 2 of West Fork High School? Motion been moved and seconded. There being no further discussion, the vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion is approved. There being no further business, the meeting is adjourned. The time is 8:21.